Okay, from session 1 we already learned how to present a pivot table. In this session we're going to learn how we can format our pivot tables. So basically here, once you place your mouse pointer within the pivot table, you have this design here. You click on the design, you can change the design of your pivot table to any design that you want. For instance, let's choose it to black, or we can choose it to any other design that we want. Okay, now this is it. You've realized that we've been able to change the color of our pivot table as well as the design. Now you want to present it in the report, and you realize that our report at this level is not well presented. You go to once you click on your designs, you have what called the report layout. You click on report layout. Normally here the format of this pivot table is assumed to be in compact form, so in order to make it more presentable, you click now on show in outline form. So now you realize that now the pivot table now is well presented. We have seen that the name of the salesperson is there, as well as the region, and then we have the total. So here on our pivot table we can decide to remove the grand total, maybe at the level of the rows or at the level of the column. So if we assume that you want to remove the total on the columns or rows, you simply need to go to what grand totals. If you don't want any grand totals to appear either on the columns or on the rows, you simply take off rows and columns. Now you see, as we have clicked there, the grand total on both the columns and the rows have actually disappeared. If you still want it in your data, you simply come and you click on what? On row and columns. Now we have the data again. Again, if you think that basically you maybe want your report in such a way that you want to present it in a way that you'll be able to have, you want to change the region. Instead you want the region to appear on the column, on the rows, and not on the column like what we have actually done. You simply need to come here, you select region, you take it to where we have rows, and then you take this salesman to columns. You see, automatically we have been able to change it. And then based on these, with pivot table, equally at times you may want to do counting. If we assume that you want to count the number of regions that you have, basically let's take everything back to normal, and then let's assume that you want to do counting in your pivot table. If you want to do counting in your pivot tables, this is what you're going to do. If we assume that you want to count the number of salespeople that you have, the first thing is you draw the number, the take salesman, and then you put it in the rows, and again you take salesman again, you put it under what? The values. Automatically you see that what we have, John is appearing 9 times, Martin 9 times, Moses 2 times, and Peter 1 time. So if you want to cross check whether this data is correct or not, for instance, you want to check whether John is actually appearing 9 times in our table or in our pivot table, what are you supposed to do? You simply click on it. When you click on it, automatically it will extract a new table will appear, and then now you realize that what automatically here we have John appearing 9 times. Then let's come here under count, then we select what? Count how many? 9 times, which means that our data is correct. So basically anything you can do here. For instance, maybe you equally want to maybe calculate the maximum or the minimum amount. You can equally do it on our pivot table. Let us remove everything again. Let's assume that equally that our regions will be appearing on the rows, and then our name of salesperson appearing on the columns, and we want to ascertain the maximum as well as the minimum amount. So basically what we need to do is we take salesperson, and then we put here sales revenue, we put here, and then like we have said, we want to do what? Maximum. We'll go to field settings, and then we'll take on what? Maximum. Automatically the maximum amount will be displayed. So we have rejoin. So this is the maximum sales that we have had here. Let me do it again. We want to calculate the maximum sales in each region. First thing is that we have drawn the region to the rows, and then what? We take the sales to the value section, and then from there we can then what? Click on field settings, and then we'll select what? Maximum. That's it. Now if we assume that we want to calculate what? We want to calculate